Hey guys, Marslingan here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so I've been thinking about this for a little while, so I thought we'd make a video where we jump into the GT Legendary Goku event and go through a little run here with the future Saga team. So this team really does need some buffs. It's been a long time since a unit came out that buffs this category. Obviously with the 120 lead EZAs all finished, at least on JP, the Rose, STR Rose and Tech Vegito Blue EZAs should be upcoming, which will definitely help out this team quite a lot. The STR Rose is one that I'm really looking forward to. But even then, like Rose, he needs a good link partner to go with. Like we all meme about how bad Ink Goku Black is. AGL Zamasu's kind of fallen off already. So it'd be nice to see some form of maybe like an LR merge Zamasu, but keep that half purple crap out of here. We don't want that. But yeah, we're going to jump in and have a look and see how the future Saga team holds up here. Now, obviously, a lot of the units have some good utility, like the Trunks. Once he transforms on the next turn, is infinitely going to be stacking his stats. So he's going to be very useful towards the end of the event. But obviously, in this event, a lot of the stages do lower your defense on super attack. And so you do take quite a bit of damage. Like Trunks was, when he came out, was like famously one of the best units for using in the original Goku event because of how quickly he stacked his attack and defense. But he kind of gets countered a little bit in this event with that defense lowering. So you really need to build his defense up to a very high level in order for it to him to actually tank super attacks like reasonably well. So we'll see how high we can get his defense. This team I threw together, I feel like this is the strongest team I could make for this event, because obviously there's certain units that you probably don't want to bring, you know, just in case they get slapped up a little bit later on. I'm going to make this the Vegito rotation, so I need to float off this Trunks. So unfortunately Vegito is going to suffer in the first slot here, but once we get the Vegito Blue around onto this rotation, that will make up for it. And then I'll have this Trunks probably linked up with the other Trunks for now, and then maybe when the in future Gohan transforms, maybe we'll have him on rotation with the Tech Trunks, because they go together pretty well. But obviously Vegito here going to get some additionals, and then Tech Trunks going to come in and finish him off. Tech Trunks is still a really good unit. He kind of sucks on turn 1. Well, to be fair, he's more just kind of average, mid, you might say, on turn 1. But then once he transforms, obviously then we start kicking it into high gear, getting that stack on his attack and defense with each super, which is obviously very strong. But this is the kind of situation where we will start to see like the weakness of this team potentially, because like Trunks has not started to stack yet. So he only has 116k defense pre-super attack. Most of these guys, actually I think everyone on this rotation raises defense on super attack. So that is obviously going to make things a little bit easier. But I need to make sure I can actually get full key for Gohan. So if we do this, yeah, there we go. So any unit on this rotation really taking a super is still going to take a fair bit of damage. Like even if Trunks gets his super attack off here first, which he is going to do, if he gets super attack now, because of the defense lowering from Goku, he's still not tanky enough to take like no damage straight away. And here we go, that's exactly what's going to happen. I mean, he is still probably the best unit on this turn to take a super attack, but still over 100k. And that is where I've talked about this in multiple videos in the past. Like this is where the difficulty of this event really comes into play and can ruin some of your runs, is the fact that you can take so much damage early on from super attacks that, you know, you're only allowed to bring 2 items into the event. I mean, technically 4, right? 2 different items. You really don't want to be using one of them really early on. So taking a super, like if we'd taken the super on future Gohan that previous turn, we would have taken a ton of damage. So starting defense, I think the LR, yeah, see, neither of these guys are like super good in slot 1, which is kind of another thing here. I think we could probably take the risk though and put you in slot 1 here, and then once you get your supers off, as long as this attack in slot 1 is not a super, then we'll be okay. But unfortunately the key not dropping the way we would have wanted for Trunks. My Trunks does have a lot of additional, so hopefully he can come in clutch. But obviously physical Vegito Blue going to shine when he's getting those crit counters, especially after attacking and potentially getting off a couple of super attacks. We definitely want him to get multiple supers in every turn to really up that defense. But you can see here, this early on in the event, we're still able to tank for double digits after only one super, which is pretty good. And even the non-crit counter is still doing a fairly reasonable amount of damage. So, LR Tech Vegito Blue. I know the 5-year LR fusions, they became very quickly underrated, but they are obviously still very strong units. I actually don't think I've link leveled the Vegito. I know I did the Gogeta in preparation for having to do the extreme SBR fusions, like no items run, but I don't think I've actually done Vegito's links. And he's still hitting some pretty reasonable numbers, so going to keep these guys together because obviously the STR Trunks is a really, really good, very strong unit. Links up well with the other Super Saiyan Trunks, of course, and is providing support for him because he is a Hybrid Saiyan's support unit. So this rotation is actually going to be very effective. That Trunks is the STR support Trunks. He's Rainbow level 10 links for me, and he is very, very good. If he's able to double super, his defense is very, very high. He does have the chance to additional in his passive, and mine obviously has a decent amount of additional in his hidden potential system. But yeah, 2.4 million attack stat from him, considering he's quote-unquote just a support unit. That's pretty good. And then we get the additional super as well, so double defense raise from him. He should tank normal attacks from this Goku for double digits, even with type disadvantage, but we didn't have to take any attacks. That was a very good turn for us, having Tech Trunks with the type advantage just in slot 1, taking all of the attacks. So obviously that was very good. And then here, should we get, who should we have go first? Could Vegito Blue finish him off here? Maybe. Can we get his 18 key super? We can. Alright, let's go ahead and do this. See if Tech Vegito Blue can take advantage of the type advantage and actually finish off Goku here. So, in terms of the future category getting buffs, what do we need to see? Obviously the Tech Vegito Blue Easy A and the STR Rose Easy A will be coming up at some point. But they are just Easy A's of old units, which is always nice. But we need something a little bit newer than that. So I was double checking the leaders, and obviously we've got Trunks here. We've got the physical future Gohan. Both of them are leaders that have 170 for 2 of their stats and then 130 as the other one. So obviously we could see a new Dokkan Fest exclusive leader potentially at some point that has 170 across the board. That would be very good. Both of the leaders, of course, that have 170 leader skills are super type units, so an extreme type would be good. Like I said, like a new Merge Zamasu or something. I could kind of see him being an LR though. And then, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. So Trunks had, what, 180k defense pre-super here, but taking a super attack before we got to get off our super, he still took over 200k damage. Whereas if you think back to the old Goku event, very quickly, I mean, we're on what, the 4th phase, so very quickly he would be taking like no damage from supers in that older event. So you can really see the added difficulty here for this event. But obviously Future still has a lot of things to tap into. We still don't really have good versions of the Future androids like 17 and 18. That could be interesting. Obviously the actual first like friend LR, the LR androids, the AGL one, they're still left without an Easy A, which would definitely be very beneficial for them. Obviously a lot of people are really excited about the prospect of eventually getting a future Gohan and Trunks card together. That would be something that would be very interesting. Now that they've kind of opened the door with the new LR Vegeta and Goku exchange card, I definitely think at some point in the future we could be seeing a future Gohan that has a revival exchange into a Super Saiyan Trunks. I think that would be very cool. So there's definitely a lot of things that they could do to buff the future saga. So of course we take a super in slot 1. I was hoping we could only take normals here with the Geo, so we could actually tank. Like, he tanked the normal attacks reasonably well, but pretty solid attack stat. I guess thinking about it now in retrospect, like having the double Vegito Blue rotation, neither of them are particularly good at being in slot 1, so I guess maybe we can Maybe we'll change this up and have one of the other Trunkses being in the first slot. But what is his defense up to now? 210k. See, the problem is, if we take a super attack from the Ozaru here on Trunks, we probably still die. But alright, so we're getting the Dokkan attack with Trunks here. He's pretty built up at this point. We've got the support from the STR Trunks, so he should have a pretty reasonable attack stat at this point. So let's hit all the nodes here. So he's got a 3.2 million attack. We are getting the full damage buff from the Dokkan mode here. So we should do pretty reasonable damage. Obviously Trunks, you know, it's a reasonable attack stat, but he's not like the hardest hitting unit in the game or anything like that. So it's not like we're going to take this guy out in this one turn here. But we should be pretty good defensively here, and we are going to get a solid heal from that Dokkan attack. In future Gohan in the final slot should tank very well against the Ozaru here. We do get to greatly raise our defense on super attack, so I always liked his super attack animation. For, like, this unit, I only have one dupe in him because he hasn't been on a ton of banners, and then the banners that he has been on, I just haven't really been that lucky when it comes to pulling copies of him. So I think what we want to do here is probably have the physical Vegito Blue off rotation just in case. So we'll go ahead and grab these to get the 18 key super for Vegito Blue, Tech Vegito Blue. We're in that league. Whew. Yikes, 70k for him. Pre-super. Like, his defense is not bad at this point, but that just shows you how much damage the Ozaru does. Even after our super attack for this turn, he still does 50k damage to the Tech Trunks. But Vegito Blue coming in with the crit, and then of course he gets the guaranteed additional. I think that's what's always put him just that one like step above the Gogeta, the fact that he gets the guaranteed additional super, and obviously that helps to proc the extra additional from the hidden potential system like we see here. We even get a level 3 dodge. It's very nice. And then physical Vegito Blue. Obviously, we need him to get crits if we want him to actually do damage. Yeah, look at that. Non-crit normal attack, and he doesn't even do more than double-digit damage. So, final turn here. I feel like this is where we're going to end up getting super attacked, aren't we? So, we got 245k with the Tech Trunks. We still have, what, 3 items left. We haven't used our support memory yet either. The only thing I'm concerned about here is, does Trunks get hit for more than like 300k from a super from this Ozaru? So I'm going to play it safe and put the AGL Trunks and Mai in slot 1. Their defense is obviously not as good, but they do have type advantage, so they shouldn't get one shot by a super attack. Fortunately, he didn't super us in slot 1, so we messed up our rotation essentially for no reason. But as long as we get the AGL Trunks and Mai off rotation by the time we get to full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku, then it doesn't really matter all that much. So we'll move on to the actual first Super Saiyan 4 Goku stage here. So I think we want to have let me double check, what's Gohan's defense now? See, it's only 49k. Does he have damage reduction? He doesn't raise his defense after super transforming. It's pre-super that he has greatly raised his defense. So he is getting the extra attack and defense by having the Trunks in the same turn. He does have 58% damage reduction, so we probably want him in slot 1 because slot 3 because we don't want Vegito Blue taking all of those hits. So I think this is probably a decent enough turn to go ahead and pop our first Whis here, because it will carry on the effect into the next turn. So I think we'll be looking good here. We can get the 18 key super for Vegito Blue, and we can still get a super for Gohan. So with the Whis active, this should be a pretty solid turn, at least defensively. Offensively, of course, we have 2 tech units on the rotation, so we need them to actually get crits if we want to do a decent amount of damage. But no crit from Trunks. And then 4.5 million for Vegito Blue. I mean, I guess you can kind of see why people have started to underrate the 5-year LRs, because obviously this is after him transforming and having a couple of turns of building up and getting off a few super attacks, whereas obviously there's LRs coming out now, like especially if you want to look at the 2 newest Dokkan Fest exclusive LRs, the Goku and the Frieza. Both of them are hitting way more than that on their 18 key on turn 1. and then they're obviously building up their attack and defense as the event goes on. So definitely seeming a little bit outdated in terms of their attack stat here, and obviously his defense is not super crazy, especially until he gets off a few super attacks. So I think we can probably risk putting Vegito Blue in slot 1 here, since we are going to get we've still got the Whis active, so hopefully we can potentially get some counters. And then I would be a little bit concerned about Trunks and Mai, but they are raising their defense on super. The Whis is still active, so we should be good. Unfortunately, Vegito Blue not getting a crit counter, even against type advantage here. He doesn't do crazy damage, but this is the kind of turn we want to see from him, actually getting some additional super attacks. Can we get one more? Alright, no extra one. But crit counter, there you go. Over 1 million damage with the crit counter. That's what we like to see. So decent damage for him. Like, his easy A is still very good, but obviously as time goes on, his easy A is obviously going to start to become a little bit dated. I mean, counter units can always be useful in those scenarios where you can put them in front of a bunch of normal attacks, but as we see in this harder content now, if you're not getting crits on those counters, you're not really doing a lot of damage. And obviously the build for counter units is always to have as much crit as possible, but you're not necessarily going to be doing huge amounts of damage if you're not getting the crits. So go ahead and do this, and then grab all of these for you. We've got no item active now, but Trunks, see, Trunks only at 200k defense. That seems quite low considering how long we've been building up here. I don't really want to use another item this early, so how much damage is he going to take? He's still taking double digits. This could be bad though, the super attack from Super Saiyan 4 Goku. 379k. So you can see the significant difference there. Like, even with type disadvantage, this Trunks' defense is good enough to tank normal attacks, but that super attack really did mess us up here. So I think STR Trunks is good enough that we can survive the turn, but that's what I'm kind of talking about from the beginning of the video. That Tech Trunks, by the time you get to like STR UI Goku in the original Goku event, he's tanking his super attacks for double digit damage. So yeah, that was a pretty significant amount of damage. STR Trunks got the double super, so obviously double defense raise, and that's all good for him. But how is Tech Vegito Blue going to fare in this final slot? He's obviously going to get his additional supers. One gets dodged. There's no attacks for him to have to take, so I think we should be all good here. Well, obviously we will. So we survive into the next turn. Did we use our active skill yet? Support memory? We didn't, no. So we get that off now. And then I guess we have to go ahead and use the Princess Snake. So we get the heal. Grab these. And then these. And then we can just give these to you. So I don't think we're going to get another Dokkan attack here before the end, but with the item active, Vegito Blue is obviously not going to take any damage from these normal attacks. If he can get the crits on these counters, and then actually, or you know, the counter gets dodged, he might be able to finish him off here. Depends how many supers we get, and of course, he's going to take a super attack. So at least we have type advantage. 95k with an item active, so yeah, physical Vegito Blue, as we were saying earlier on in the run, definitely not really designed to be a slot 1 unit, even if you do have type advantage. But he's getting off some extra attacks here. If we get a crit counter here, he might actually just finish him off. But can we get the crit? No crit. 300k, I guess, is okay, but when you have type advantage and this guy has so much HP left, it's not the craziest thing in the world. But and of course, Trunks, having type disadvantage, he needs the crits to do damage, but we will take a double super, because that's another defense raise as well. Still no crit, so it's up to, I was going to say, it's up to our boy Future Gohan here, but Super Saiyan 4 Goku coming through with the dodge. So, alright, so what is Trunks' defense now? 248k. So pretty decent, as long as we don't get a super in slot 1 here. Obviously, we're not going to risk using the Spirit Sword until potentially, like, you know, when we know that this is the final turn that we're going to kill full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. But obviously, there's the possibility that he just dodges the big Spirit Sword attack, which was always the issue with the old Goku event as well. So we have to be careful about how we do that. But Finish off Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and we go on to the final stage here. Now that we don't have type disadvantage, the Trunks should be a little bit more sturdy here. Yeah, he's at 322k defense now, so if we go ahead and do this, we can get a nice bit of healing off of all of the defense that we have here with all the same type orbs. So we're back up to what, 85k? So of course we take a super first slot. So 350k defense, type neutral. How is he going to tank this? Wow, still 310k. Man, that is quite a lot. Now, fortunately, everybody else on the rotation tanks really well from normal attacks. So we should be looking good here. But double super from Trunks up to 3.4 million on his attack stat, which is not bad. Obviously, you know, there's a lot of units that hit higher than that a lot sooner, but he is matching that with like a 350k defense stat as well, so pretty strong. And then this is where you can see Vegito Blue kind of is falling off a little bit. Like, even with his super attacks, he's not really hitting particularly hard. And he's taking 24k from normal attacks without a defensive item active. Obviously, we're usually used to seeing him take like double digits from normals. So as long as Vegito Blue in the last slot can tank these hits, okay, we should be fine. But we could actually die here. So 5.6 million from Tech Vegito Blue. No crit. And then we get the additional 12 key. Even his 12 key is just shy of a 4 million attack stat now. So there's the extra super. Literally just under 4 million attack stat. So we get the crit. Okay, yeah, he's taking double digit damage at least. So did we still have a Princess Snake left? I don't think we did we? Ooh. So this is going to be a real close one here, because we can use a Whis to counteract a potential incoming super, but we now do not have a way to heal. So we just grab same type orbs here and see if this will see us through. Future Gohan will obviously tank perfectly fine in slot 1 here, I hope. Well, the Whis is active, so yeah, his damage reduction plus Whis on top. This should be double-digit damage? Yeah, good, okay. So we are getting very close to finishing him off here. Future Gohan just under 3 million attack stat. That's not bad, considering, as I said earlier, mine has 1 dupe, and I haven't link leveled him yet either, so that's actually not too bad at all. With the damage from the 2 Trunkses following up the end of this turn, we should be able to finish him off next turn. So obviously this run has been a little bit longer than some of the other teams that we've taken through this event. I think the major issue is we don't really have a unit that is a full-on crazy damage dealer, you know, like hitting 5-6 million attack stats on turn like 2 or 3, which a lot of the categories that have gotten buffs recently obviously do have. So that does make a pretty significant difference. We're going to go ahead and do this so we can grab the physical orbs for you, and then the AGL orbs for you. The Whis is still active, so hopefully Trunks and Mai are okay in the final slot here. Trunks should survive this with the Whis. Yeah, 7,000 damage. Okay, that's not as bad as I was expecting, because 7,000, I mean, with a Whis active, that's still quite a bit, I guess, but not too shabby overall. And let's see if Vegito Blue can actually of course he dodges the first one. Alright, we at least get another super. I was going to say, we want to see that God turn from Vegito Blue where we get 4 supers, but here's the third one. So, and a crit as well. Let's go. Alright, we get the 4 attacks, but the 4th one was not a super. Now, come on, give me some crit counters. Yeah, see, non-crit already did 43,000 damage, which is not what we need. That's what we need. Million damage crit counters. There we go. 2 in a row. So he's got very little health left now. With the Whis active and the defense raise from Trunks and Mai super attack, we should be all good here. Okay, so we've got no items left. Oh, can we finish him off with the Vegito Blue active skill? Will this actually do enough damage? Let's go. Let's see if this can actually be the finish. So Vegito Blue active skill. His passive is pretty much fully built up at this point, so this should be full power active skill here. Can we crit as well? Come on, take him out. Oh, 1.79. Doesn't quite finish him off, but Future Gohan in slot 1 should be more than capable of taking him out here. And we're getting the Dokkan attack, so he can't dodge. So there you go. That is going to be the finishing blow. Took a little bit longer to get through this last part than I was expecting, but I mean, you can see from some of the numbers that we've been hitting with these units that this category just doesn't really have like some big gun units that other categories have been getting. So this was the whole point of this video, is to talk about the fact that the future Saga category definitely needs some significant buffs very soon, outside of like the couple of easy A's that we know are coming. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. What do you think the best way to buff the future Saga category would be? I'm interested to hear what you guys think. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.